Welcome back to another Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and today we're moving on to Hyperion SMGs, which happen to be my favorite of the SMGs, for non-red text, that is, and my favorite of Hyperion guns in general. I think Hyperion snipers are kind of pointless because all snipers are accurate and they don't really have the oomph to be a great sniper. Their shotguns are pretty good, but I don't think they really keep up with Jacobs and Torg for non-red text. Red text is a different matter. Their pistols are pretty solid, but again, kind of just lack the punching power, although they have some good red text ones that I will get to at a later date. But today is SMGs, and I think the reverse recoil really works the best here, allowing you to really accurately hip fire an SMG, and that makes a big difference, especially being able to keep them on point. And their fire rate and damage is pretty solid, as you can see here, 8.7 and 200,000 there. Decent magazine size, good reload speed. They just have really great stats overall, and you can see even that accuracy there is fantastic. So I'm a big fan of these. The first one we're going to start off, going in rarity order, is the Actualizer, which has a Hyperion barrel. It is a Seraph that you can buy from the Seraph vendor in UVHM. And this one is meant to be the high power. So comparing the stats here, you get an increased damage, which is good, very good actually. Not quite double, maybe 75%, just looking at it off the top of my head. A good boost. You lose some accuracy. 86 doesn't sound terrible, but we'll see how that actually plays out. That reload penalty, well, I just popped up there. Kind of fun. That reload penalty at doubling is pretty painful, and as you can see, I've got the same grip here. They have all the same parts. So that's kind of hurting quite a bit. The increased magazine size is nice, but I'd rather take the 2.1 reload and leave the mag alone. And then also you get you can't really see it in here that well. Oh, you can a little bit. You have a slow down bullet speed. You can see that reload is pretty terrible. You know, I should have bought ammo before this. Good thing there's an ammo vendor right here. I didn't buy enough. Got how low I was. Okay. So you can see the damage there. Whoops, that's not the right gun. 420, 777. So, you know, the damage is legit, but between the worse accuracy, the slow down bullets I don't think are really an issue. They're not that slow. And you can just keep it on crit here and put out a good amount of damage. But that reload is painful. So I don't know, I don't love it. I think like a lot of guns where they did, let's increase the damage but lower the other stats, I think they overdid it with this one. If they would have left the reload speed alone and lowered the accuracy, I think it'd be fine, but you don't see a lot of people liking this gun, and I think that's for good reason. It's because that the damage is nice, but the reload is just too bad, and the accuracy doesn't help it either. So now we're going to look at, you know, I should actually pick that back up here, because I'm going to compare it to the bitch here. So the bitch is another Hyperion SMG with a Hyperion barrel, this time legendary, so it's based off the same gun. So the bitch here, you have slightly increased damage, increased accuracy, and an increased magazine size with a 75% critical hit bonus. So if you compare the bitch to the Actualizer here, the bitch has got a bigger magazine, better twice the reload speed, or half the reload speed I guess, better accuracy but lower damage, but the critical hit here, 799, and you can also see the bitch doesn't sway as much as some of these other guns. when you first shoot them. Because you look at this, you have to shoot a lot of them to get in there, and then when you get in there, it does less damage per hit than the bitch does. And this gun too seems to get in there a little faster than the actualizer. So the actualizer has the slower recoil as well. But even when you crit with the actualizer, you're doing less damage. Now you're doing more in a body shot, 388, 210, and 228. But these guns are so accurate, they should be crit guns, and the bitch just blows the actualizer away, and it's a legendary, not a seraph. And that's, I think, a big problem with the actualizer. This legendary just absolutely destroys it. The bitch, I mean, the bitch is fantastic, you know, in all fairness, but it's the crit, the increased damage, the increased magazine size, and the reduced recoil all go a long way to just make it ridiculously good. So, yeah, that is the first round. Now we're going to move into, I might as well do the Yellow Jacket next. That's an E-Tech. So, Hyperion plasma casters, like Hyperion SMGs, are my favorite because of the splash damage. Now this, you see each hit here, 649 on crit, but then another 129 from the splash. So you're actually doing more damage per hit than the bitch with this. You see you have increased damage, increased magazine size, although that's slightly misleading because it's 2 damage per shot. But the Yellow Jacket here, he's got great stats. So on paper that looks really good. You know, high damage, you've got the splash damage on top of that, a big magazine size, but like all PCs, it is you can just see these slow bullet speed. So there's 2 ammo per shot like all these, and it does a ton of damage, but that slow bullet speed makes it really hard to use. You can just put out a wall of bullets, but man, enemies can just dodge this so easily. And I want to love this because I love plasma casters. So the bullets, they disappear, but they actually keep going and can hit enemies. But it's a really slow bullet speed, and that really kind of hurts this gun. You don't see it, and it's shock locked, which isn't great either. But even looking here, look how long that's taking that bullet to reach him. I'll stop shooting here. That's painfully slow. Now they speed up over time, but they start off so slow. You know, stat-wise it's very good, and if you can hit enemies, you can lay waste to them. But the stats aren't that much better than a regular plasma caster. You know, you get an extra 3 shots per magazine, and a very slight damage increase. You know, 30,000 isn't much. And for its slow bullet speed, it's not enough. The chance to shock 1%, who cares? It's just not enough. It needs more, a lot more. You know, it needs at least an extra 100,000 damage to even, you know, kind of consider it over a regular plasma caster. And it doesn't have that. So the Yellow Jacket, I think they just, when you do a weird fire pattern like that, you have to make it worth it, and they didn't do that. So next we have our blue guns, which is the Commerce and the Bane. I'm going to start off with the Commerce, which has a beautiful skin. I just wish the gun was as good as the skin is. So when you compare this here, it's better damage. And very, very little. And you can see there, we're looking at nothing, really. Now it does have a pretty quick recoil on it, but 297 per shot compared to 284 is really not noticeable. The only benefit, and I didn't realize this before, that this does have reduced recoil compared to that. Is that on card? No, it doesn't show it on card. Sometimes they show that on card, like you can see it on the bitch. And maybe I'm just imagining this, so let me just do this again. Maybe it's not actually faster. I could have just been imagining that. So part of the problem is it's just a blue gun. And blue guns don't have the same stats as purple, obviously. With just a slight damage increase. It's really lame. It doesn't really do anything. It's just a case of a slightly better gun, and I think that's really boring, especially for how cool that skin is. Like, give it some extra kind of shock ability or something, but it's just got nothing. You know, it's decent. It's not going to be bad, but it's just very, very average at best, and that's kind of boring. And it's a Tedior barrel as well, which are not good barrels, so it's even kind of a bad part blue gun on top of that, so it's not even like a good part blue gun. If it was a bandit barrel, it would be a lot better. Bandit barrels and Hyperion SMGs are really good. Unfortunately, there's no bandit barrel Hyperion SMG or red text SMG. So last we have the Bane. The Bane is a stupid gun that should never have been in the game. Now some people argue, oh, the Bane can actually be good. When you look at it here, it's got really good damage and a good magazine size. But when you were limited to this movement speed, it's not good, and you can't do damage with it, and that's god awful. Because even though you see there, let's see crits here, 690, that's not even great damage. I mean, the Actualizer, the Bane, the Yellow Jacket, the Plasma Caster, they all do more damage than this. Now, if this thing had way more damage than any of those other ones, I could see it. But it's not like you're doing great damage with this. And this movement speed just makes you die easily. You jump slow, everything. It's terrible. So some people say, oh, there's decent DPS on paper. Well, that's bullshit, because you can't even really, you move so slow you can't really hit things unless they're standing still. You can get hit easily, and it doesn't do more damage than just these guns. So, no, it's not actually good. It's actually a piece of shit. So that is Hyperion SMGs. In general, I don't know, I think they're kind of a bust. I mean, the bitch is fantastic, and definitely one of the best red text guns in the game, I would say. The Yellow Jacket isn't as good as a Plasma Caster. Now, granted, a Plasma Caster is awesome. The Actualizer, it's not worth its rarity. It's not bad. You know, this again, it's just not, it's not enough of an improvement. So they kind of missed the boat on most your Hyperion SMGs, really. And that's kind of sad, because regular Hyperion SMGs are just really good naturally. But we did get the bitch, which is absolutely ridiculously awesome. Look at all that crit. It's just got to make you happy to see that many crits. Yeah, and amp shields work well with critical hits as well, so it's also really good with the B, and pretty much all the characters can do really amazing things with the bitch. again, because of its hip-fire ability. So that is Hyperion SMGs. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you later. If you have not gone and checked out the thread, please do so. And leave comments below on what you think of these. You know, do you disagree with my assertion of some of these? You know, do you put the bitch in some of the top SMGs? I hope you do. If not, you're wrong. And I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching once again.